Welcome to Born for the Trades, a home service podcast. I'm your host, Mandy Bala, sitting virtually next to Shreya, my co-host.
Hey, everybody.
Today, we are excited to share a huge part of the source of success for many contractors we admire, the team over at Elite Call, the outbounding specialist. Welcome, Jack and Leslie, again on our show.
Mandeep, Shreya, first of all, congrats to you. I just saw that you had your 50th episode. So incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're excited to be on number 2 of the Elite Call journey. So thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And there'll be many more with you guys, I'm sure, because it's like your team is super electrifying. And I just find myself, I think everybody has that thing where when they meet Elite Call at a conference, they just want to hang out with them all the time and talk to them for 3 hours. And like, who doesn't want that out of their outbounding specialist? You wouldn't expect your besties to come out of it. So yeah. I appreciate you guys being so welcoming.
Yeah, and the energy vibe. I know we have been, Miss Shreya and we have been missing that and can't wait to connect with you and your entire crew. We'll definitely see you very soon at these events. So
yeah, the rest of the year. We missed you at Victor's, but we're excited to see you at the rest of the events coming up throughout the year.
Absolutely. So Jack, let's start with story, for the listeners. Those are new listeners, active listeners. Tell us the story of how you got started and cultivated your team at Elite Call.
Sure. So I was fortunate enough to be one on the actual telephone. So during college, I played football, hockey, and part-time telemarketing was always my gig. And so I had the opportunity to learn from the biggest and the mom and pops. And so my passion was always I was an entrepreneur. I wanted to have my own company. And from the very beginning, back over 20 years ago, we got into the mortgage industry. We did hot transfers. It was incredible. Our clients were Quicken Loans, Wells Fargo. It was an experience that I would never change. We grew fast. We went from 0 to 300 employees in less than 8 years.
Wow.
2008 was an experience that was humbling. You know, I had a lot of friends and family that worked for me. And I saw the writing on the wall. I knew that the financial industry was in trouble, but I wanted to battle through as best as I could. You know, we'll talk about culture later, but when you truly care about your team and their best interest, not just your own, financially, I put everything on the table to try to make it through that challenge that we all faced. At the end, we ended up closing our door, but what I learned from that and the perseverance to be able to get back up and learn from what those challenges faced us with every day is where we are today. I couldn't have been where we are today without that.
Proud of you and your entire team, and it shows that you care for your people and the way that you have taken care of everyone at your office and the recent growth. And we always look at your growth and culture, and proud to be your friend.
Oh, we're right back at you. So it was interesting. So for the next couple of years, I started a custom home building construction company. A voice kept going in my head. It was the man upstairs. God kept saying, do another call center. And I just battled him. I said, nope, we're not doing a call center. That was a fun journey, but I don't want to do it again. And it just resonated and it kept hitting me hard. And so in 2012, we started back up again. And we got into the storm restoration industry for the home service. We always did work for the manufacturers. So I always dabbled with the trains and carriers. They would do co-op programs. But it was really only the last 3 years that we got in the lane of dealing directly with HVAC, plumbing, garage door. And it's been the best adventure, in the last 20 years of me having a call center. The friends like yourselves, but the opportunity, there was such a void in this industry. There were so many call centers that were dropping the ball, and is that internal teams, CSRs are great at inbound. They're okay at doing outbound for their members, but they necessarily weren't very talented or didn't want to dial non-members. And so there was a large need and a large calling for this service. And the last 3 years, we've been growing about 150% a year, and we're not slowing down.
What you shared some insights about how, you know, your seeming failure contributed to putting everything into the company and the culture of your team. What are some of the things in your processes that you've learned from the past, and what makes the outbounding so successful with you guys?
Sure. Well, it's kind of two-part, right? So our culture's always been our strong suite. You know, if you don't take care of your team, you can't expect them to perform, delivering that world-class experience that you want from them. So, you know, I've always been blessed from an early on age, take care of your people. I coached sports a long time before, you know, starting this journey. And it was the same thing, make people better than they were before they got into your relationship or field or within these office walls. So even today, the culture that we built here has been incredible, and I'm blessed to have the team that we surround ourselves with.
Yep.
The second part of your question, you know, for us to be able to deliver that world-class experience, you know, it's a lot of risk for a company that doesn't know who you are to hand you over their customer base. A lot of
Yeah.
these are second, third generation companies, and here is a call center that says, hey, let me reach out to your customers. And I would be really hesitant at first. You know, I'd make sure I do my due diligence before I hand over my customer list. But when we do the Zoom calls, and I have Lesli, by the way, is our director of client service. She's absolutely incredible. She has a whole quality assurance team underneath her, but the ability to be able to perform for our clients and exceed expectations has been not only a blessing for us, but a win for our clients as well.
That's amazing. And Leslie, if you want to share, like, you know, how quality assurance QA plays a big role, we would like to know your insights on that.
Absolutely. So initially, we want to get with our clients and discuss the campaign that we're running, right? We want to get all the details, all the services that they offer, get all of that locked down. And what we actually do is that we create a designated team that's going to go on those campaigns. And then we create a training class where we involve our quality assurance team so that they know exactly what's going on with that campaign. So that assigned team of agents then, you know, runs the campaign, schedules these appointments, and then we have our quality assurance team that is going to listen to all the calls to make sure that everything we did capture initially at onboarding, the campaigns where it's supposed to be, all those goals are met for our clients. So that's where our quality assurance team comes into play. But what they also help us do is maintain that team. So after, you know, our quality assurance runs through all those phone calls, they have feedback for our agents so that we're constantly, you know, working with our agents, training our agents, and giving them more feedback.
That's amazing. Is that something like, you know, QA that you guys have like recently added to your process, or what was it there like from the beginning, Leslie?
So it's been there from the beginning. We've actually also improved that process. We incorporate like scorecards within like our agents as well, where they're able to track each agent's performance to make sure that they're continuously growing, but within themselves. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's also for our client.
Amazing.
And other than that, oh, go ahead.
I was saying it's not slowing down either. So, you know, AI is going to be a big component
Yep.
of helping some of the redundancy of, you know, just even not being monotone on the phone call. You know, not only do we connect to all CRMs, but Service Titan especially. We're in the process of, you know, becoming affiliate partnerships with them and their gold level partnership. And so we have some really exciting news coming out soon. And the different technology that will even further grow what we offer today. But Shreya, Mandeep, it's so important, not just the, you know, the conversation with the customers, but what's being entered into those CRMs as well to make sure that accuracy is correct.
Yeah, and when you're talking about like integration of appointments into the CRMs, could you elaborate on how the integration works and the benefit it provides to the clients?
Yes, so in addition to assigning that team of agents to their campaigns, we actually also go over how exactly our agents are going to be scheduling within their CRM. So for example, like a CRM like Service Titan, we'll ask them to create logins for each agent as like CSR access so that they're able to book those calls manually. All our call centers are trained to work in Service Titan. We just need to know what job types they're using, how their capacity works so that we don't overbook. That's the main gist of how they'd be scheduling, but that's also where our quality assurance jumps in. They'll verify those entries within their CRM.
That's amazing.
Are these teams in your office in person? Sorry.
There you go.
Okay, that's a huge differentiator for me, is that they're actually in your office in person in the US performing these calls.
Yeah. So Shreya, and that's, again, that was a big void. It didn't necessarily mean that they were bad companies, but they weren't always
Right.
transparent. So, they would tell a HVAC company that they're in Colorado, and they very well could have been in Colorado. They just didn't share the fact that they're outsourcing to the Philippines or Mexico or wherever else they were. So, we're proud that we've been the whole run. We've always 20 plus years been a US based call center. We don't have at-home agents. Everything's done here within our walls.
Yeah, 80%,
Wow.
80% of like, the companies, like other outbounding specialists, they have their offices, they're outsourcing to Philippines and other countries. I'm so proud of you that you have like entire team at your office so that you can meet them in person and train them. And I think in person is always a game changer.
Well, and for everyone and everyone listening, right? Doesn't matter what lane you're in. It's
Yeah.
about taking care of your teams and that culture that we talked about. We're about to open up our 4th call center. We have 3 in Illinois, and we're opening up Florida in less than 8 weeks. And
In Tampa, please.
no, we're right outside of Naples, but we're close to you, Mandeep. So stay tuned.
Uh,
But I want that, commitment from everybody. It's about impacting lives. It's about making people better. It's about letting them come into the doors and feel that safe haven. And to be able to have that same culture in multiple offices, it's not easy, and to get that right leadership that share that same commitment about not just lip service, but truly backing it up that you care about your team. It's been a challenge, but it's been such a rewarding experience, the talent that we brought in here. And so we're not stopping. We're building a world-class team, and we're only getting better at it.
Unstoppable. You guys are unstoppable, and wish you all the best. And let's talk about like case study. Like, if could you just walk us through a case study or success story where elite call significantly impacted a client business outcome?
So I'm gonna Travis. He's sitting in the background here. Come here. One of his is
That's sneaky.
Who's
so
this guy? Who's this guy?
Travis. Everyone, Travis. Travis, say hi to everybody.
I know you, Travis.
So one of Travis's biggest wins was Service Expert. We all know they're a national brand.
Yep.
Started out with 2 of their locations. We now do all aspects of outbound telemarketing for them. But I think it would be great for you just to share some of the experiences. Like, what was that like with Service Expert when they first started to their journey now, where we're doing everything from them? What kind of feedback have you heard from, Dave Moody, who is their CMO? What kind of feedback do you get from them?
Well, Dave Moody especially, but just they understand the drive that our team has and the world-class experience that our team does bring and the value that we can bring to their customers when being able to speak to them. But I think a big piece was having their CEO and one of their other C-level executives being able to come into our office and just thank our agents for being such a key player in their outbound strategy. But it's been a run. We started with them
Just over 2
a
years
couple
ago.
locations, 2 years ago, and now it's nationwide. We're gonna be doing some international stuff with them as well. So just being able to be their right-hand man when it comes to outbound, it's been a journey for sure.
So to answer that question, one more piece as well. Thank you, brother. When they first started, these same challenges, they had their own internal CSRs, and they were great at inbound. They just weren't very great at outbound. And so their journey with us and their case studies, like when Rob, their CEO, came in, his only purpose was to come and thank the team. Last year was a very mild weather, as we know, throughout the US. And so it wasn't just about keeping capacity boards full, but it was about the 8 or 9, 10 different marketing touches that they do that we were able to deliver the strongest return of investment, all their touches. And so when you get that kind of feedback, especially, from a multi-billion-dollar company, it gives our sales team that much more confidence.
That's massive, because we have worked with service experts, like I think 2 years ago, and they have their entire in-house marketing CSRs in Dallas. I think Dallas, right?
Dallas.
Right. And it's amazing that you guys have like, crushing it for them. And I think that's a big win right here.
It says a lot about your company because if they're, providing premium service, which is what they're known for to their clients, they would only use a premium service to speak to their clients, like you said. That's a big deal to have an outsourced company be communicating with your own clients that you've touched. You better trust them with everything. And so that says a lot about you guys for sure, that testimonial.
And thank you so much. And it only grows. So now, home serve, we're getting into their brand. And not just here in the States, but up in Canada as well. And so again, when you can deliver that world-class experience, and a lot of times it's interesting when you get a call center manager, they'll hop on these Zoom calls. We do 6, 7, 8 of them a day. Sometimes they feel a little bit threatened, thinking that, wait a minute, they're entering our lane,
A good point.
our capacity. But at the end of the day, they become best friends with us because they realize we're only complementing what they currently do. And when they realize that we can take the outbound part that they sometimes struggle with, and it's not their favorite thing to engage with, they love us more than what the original connection was.
And one of my goals is to, be able to communicate with them so that we do have that relationship. So they're like, here, our CSRs aren't, the best at this area, but here, how about we have your team try this area? And the way we communicate those things ends up being why we build these great relationships with those CSR call center managers.
Yeah, I think that's the huge relationships and data, right? I think that's all about in every field. And once you build that relationship and once you show the data that it's working, ROI is there, that's definitely always like, game changer. Like, we have seen you guys crushing it with that. How does like Elite Call leverage data analytics? I know there are so many companies, they show it, and how you guys continually optimize calling strategies for better results.
Sure. So I think we talked a little bit about this last time. If you go back 2 years ago, our partnerships were primarily during the shoulder season, and upwards of 90%. And if you look at our platform today, 90% of our clients use us year round. And so Lesli and her team, with how we get creative on the different lanes that we can dial their customer base, outbound cold calling is probably the last strategy you want to go after. We're going to go after their active customers, that 3 to 18 months. We're going to help renew memberships. We're going to boost memberships, crossover, electrical, plumbing, win back programs, open invoices. There's so much value. And then even on the tail end, if we can take age data and someone that they haven't been in their home in over 2 years, and I can bring a pulse of revenue back, the win that we have to be able to restore those customers is what is the largest reward. It's not just the financial piece, but it's the relationship that's being restored.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And you mentioned earlier about AI, and I know that this has been the hottest topic of conversation, especially with CSRs, where people are wanting to replace all their CSRs, with AI technology. But the way that you described it, integrating into your company might be something more for data analytics, better training, so that you could keep that premium personal service. Is that right? Is that where you see like the future of AI integrated with Elite Call going?
We do. And again, in the brief dialogue that we have in regards to AI with our private equities that we engage with so often, they don't want the AI talking to their customer base. They want that real human being. They love the AI technology backing up. And they'll even integrate the AI maybe on the initial inbound call, but from an outbound call, from that strategy, reaching out to someone that didn't ask to be reached out to, you need the human element to be the core of that call.
I totally agree. I'm so glad you see it that way, because I've been like, oh yeah, you're going to replace your entire call centers with AI, sort of thing. Maybe if you're an economical company or you're trying to be the cheapest in the market, that could be a great strategy, like a quantity over quality type of situation. But if you're a premium company, then you need premium service is going to be organic people, real people speaking to their clients and appealing to their emotions with a personality and stuff like that. So what can someone expect with onboarding with you guys? Like, what does onboarding look like, and what are the steps to go through that?
So once again, this girl has an entire onboarding team, but I'm gonna let her hit that piece. But one more piece, Shreya, Mandeep, about AI. AI is real. There's so much value. It's only going to continue to grow and help companies that invest into this technology. So we're not saying stay away from AI because it's going to be a core part of our company, but in a way that's going to help the experience of a customer and how we engage with them on the background, be able to be a better experience for them. The knowledge that we can have at a fingertip to be able to have a better experience for them, having information readily available to us all day long. But from the live human element of having an agent on the phone, that's not going anywhere.
Amazing.
Solid.
Solid.
Talk about the onboarding.
Yeah, so with onboarding, so after, you know, we explain exactly all the services that we offer, we get our agreement back and then we decide to go on an onboarding call. So that onboarding call really consists of learning more about what that company offers, all the services that they have, and truly what that campaign is. What are the goals of that campaign? From there, we decide who we're going to be assigning to the campaign as far as like a team of agents. This is where we involve our quality assurance team again. And they basically what they take is exactly what the goal of that campaign is, what they're going how they're going to be scheduling into the CRM. We also go over the type of data that they can extract within their own CRM. So that's service tie-in, the various different audiences that you can pull so that you can make this campaign the most successful. So that's actually what onboarding is. And then after that, we communicate how exactly the campaign is going. We decide on the exact launch date. We let them know, here's the hours that we're gonna go ahead and start dialing. They should expect some inbound traffic because we're using their caller ID. We like to consider this like an extension of their existing team, right? An extension of their so we want to know exactly what their internal teams are doing, and then of course incorporate our agents to make it successful.
That's great. Yeah, go ahead.
Side of that as well is they rely on us so heavily for what is the most successful campaigns. You know, it's not just about keeping the capacity board full, but, you know, doing the buyback program, someone that had a repair a year ago and matching that repair maybe up to $1,000 or $1,500. And when you can be strategic and manipulate the data to be aged equipment, we have so much success driving new sales, taking that data and offering, you know, unique creative campaigns like this. So there's so many different opportunities to get creative with your data. And it's one of the gifts that we have to be able to offer that solution to our clients.
That's amazing that you guys have dialed in this onboarding process. And I'm sure there are like companies those are using some other CRMs as well, like House Call Pro.
Sure.
And I'm sure you must have like, you know, process for those as well, right?
But Service Titan seems as we are, they're growing quickly, and you know, to be able to offer that solution no matter what platform you're on, we're here for anyone.
That's great. That's great. So last question, like what's the best advice you will give to home service companies, those who want to improve their call center operations and customer interactions?
Sure. I would go back to a little bit of the QA side. The culture of that company is so important. You know, it's about whether they're in that call center, whether they're tech or your admin, no matter where you're at, be committed to changing lives, being able to make people better than they were before they entered that relationship with you. That's the joy. It's what keeps me going. Anyone can make money, you know, but can you go to bed at night, put your head on that pillow and feel great about what you're doing? And so in that outbound center, it's a demanding job. Rejection's not easy. And so first of all, you got to find that right person. Someone that tries to force an inbound agent to do outbound, it's taking that square peg and trying to put it into the circle. It's not going to fit very well. You got to find that right personality that can be able to, you know, deliver that world-class experience to your customers. And from an outsourcing partner, we're never content. We're always growing. We're always pushing our own boundaries to keep improving. We were on a call with one of our larger companies today, customers today. We've produced over 40,000 appointments for them. When they shared what their return of investment was, it was getting close to 8 figures. And they weren't even halfway through the appointments they ran yet. And so if you're looking to partner with a US-based call center that truly cares about your customers and deliver that world-class experience and be able to drive revenues to record numbers, we'd love that opportunity to partner with them.
Brilliant. And what's the best way for people to set up a meeting with you guys and learn more about how you could customize the service for their company?
Sure. So we have a robust sales team. You can find us at elitecall.net. We'll be at all the different trade shows. We're vested into giving back to the community. So stop by our booths at any of these future events that you come in. But in the meantime, go to elitecall.net, schedule an appointment. Travis is one of our director of sales, and we'd love to have the opportunity to have some dialogue with you. And it's not just about the sales, it's about giving back. And so anyone that has an internal team that doesn't even want to outsource this, call me. I got 25 years experience in doing this. I'll hop on the call with some of your team and we can have a little powwow about how we can make that same success that we drive here.
That's awesome. And Mandeep and I will probably be at their booth because we're pretty much hang out there the whole time. Anytime we're at a convention, it's a party over there. So come see all of us at the booths. And then I'm going to link you guys below so people can have access to this and see what you guys can do for them, because it seems to be quite honestly life-changing for the business, which you wouldn't expect, but the way that you do it is you make sure it's the greatest and the best and the most premium and the most quality and the most customized. So I'm going to link that below for everybody. But once again, thank you guys so much for coming on and being great personal friends to us as well, me and Mandeep. And we know you'll probably be on many more times when the AI is integrated and we have news for everybody. I'm looking forward to that future episode too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Mandeep, the honor is ours. This is only the beginning. There's going to be some exciting news coming out soon. Everybody wants it. I got to be able to deliver it with the same level of excellence that we do outbound. But inbound is coming soon. So
awesome. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's a hint for our listeners.
A teaser. But Mandeep and Shreya, we're the ones that are blessed. When you can hang around with like-minded people,
exactly,
people that truly care about changing lives and making a difference. It's a privilege and a pleasure, not only the friendship that we have, but the ability to be able to partner like this for both of you.
You guys are making a difference, and you take care of your people and giving back, and that's huge. And we're proud to have you guys as friends, and can't wait to see you at the event. Keep thriving, keep crushing it. Thank you again, and thank you for the listeners. We are going to see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Dream big, go make it happen. We love y'all.
Love y'all.